Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video in SQL Server. Today we are going to learn about what is function in SQL Server. So function is a block of reusable codes that can be used to perform certain logics or tasks. You can pass any parameters and perform certain operations and return the result in your functions. So in SQL Server there are mainly two functions, which are a scalar function and a table valued function. So this scalar function usually returns a single value for the parameters that you pass. These scalar functions are basically used in our select, where or order by commands to perform our manipulations before returning the results for the users. So there is also table valued functions. These functions will returns a table rather than returning a single value. These table valued functions returns entire table. So basically table valued functions are used in our select statements for our tables or views. So we cannot perform any DDL or DML operations. So we have seen procedures in our last video. If you haven't seen the procedures, what is stored procedure in SQL Server, let me provide the link in the description. Please watch that. And you can perform insert, update, delete, all the DML and the DDL operations in the store procedures. But you cannot perform any DDL and DML operations in functions. You can perform operations, calculations for your scalar functions that can return a single value for your calculations, and also a table valued function which can perform only in the select statement, and you cannot update or delete. You cannot perform the DDL DML operations in functions. So let us see some live examples and understand the functions better. Let us create some tables and let's see how function works in SQL Server. Let us get into SSMS. So here I have connected inside SSMS. I am under the sample1 database. So let me quickly create a function, a scalar function that can accept two parameters and perform addition operation and returns the value. Let me use the create function command to create a function. So whenever you create a function, you need to start with create function and you need to provide the name for the function. So I'm going to provide as add numbers, and then you need to provide the parameters that are going to be passed to this function. So I need to pass num1, which is an integer, and num2, which is also an integer. And after passing this parameter, you need to specify the return type. So in store procedure, you must not provide any return type for the procedures, but in functions you need to provide the return type value for your functions. So as this is a scalar function, let me provide the return type as integer. Provide as returns integer, and after this you need to provide as and begin end. So inside this begin and end, you need to perform the logics. So to store the added value, sum of the value, let me going to declare another variable. So declare sum, which is also an integer, and after this let me going to perform the addition operation. So let me add the num1 and num2 and store this value inside the sum. So I need to provide set. So we are going to set the value for the sum, and after this you can provide the return statement, which is going to return the sum of the value. So return the sum. So this will actually returns the sum of the value. Let us create this function. So the function got created. Now to execute this function, we can call the function just like in other languages. You need to specify the name in the select statement. Along with this, you need to pass the parameters for the function. So I have passed 10 and 5 as the argument, and I need to print this as sum of values. Sum of values. So now I'm going to execute this. So now the function works fine. The sum of 10 and 5 is returned as 15. So let us give other numbers. Now let me select this. So we can use scalar functions for these type of operations, but in scalar function it can only return a single value. It can be integer, string, or it can be a decimal, anything, but it cannot return a table of results. So if you need to return a table of result, then we need to go with table valued functions, also known as TVF in SQL Server. So let us see another example how we can write a table valued function. So now to explain this table valued function, I am going to take a table from this database. Let us take employees table. So now let me execute the select statement. You can see I have an employee table with ID, first name, last name, and the salary. So now I am going to create a function that is going to accept the ID of the employee and return all the results for the particular employee. So let me provide the create function command. Create function, return m details. After this we need to pass the parameter. Let me provide the parameter as id, which is an integer, and after this we need to provide the as begin and end. Inside this, let me provide the select statement. Select star from the employees where the id is equal to this parameter. So here we need to provide the return type as table. So we are going to return the value as a table. So here we need to provide the return type as a table. So instead of begin and end, you need to provide the return value. So you are going to return the select statement. So rather than using begin and end in this table valued function, you are going to provide the return function. So let me execute this. So now we have created this function. To execute this function, let me provide the select statement. Select star from the function name. As it is a table valued function, you can pass the id and you need to provide star. This will returns all the columns. If you need only the selected columns, you can also aggregate that. So now the employee with the id 2 has been fetched. I need with the id 4. Now the employee with the id 4 has been returned. Here I just need only the salary, then I can provide only salary in the select command, and I can fetch the salary alone in this function. We can also see another function that can be used along with our select statements to perform a simple logic. So let me execute the select statement. Here I have a first name and last name. For a simple example, I am going to concat this first name and last name and return a full name column along with this select statement. So for this, let me create another function. Create function dbo dot full name and I need to pass the parameters. I'm going to pass the first name. So first name parameter, which is a character value string, and again the last name parameter. So let me copy this and paste here. Here let me provide the last name. After this, you need to provide returns as a table. After this, as and return the value so here we are going to return only the first name. So this is not a table valued function, it is just a scalar function. So I need to return only the string value that I have concatenated. So we can go with the begin and end. So inside this, for this, let me declare another variable to hold this full name value. So let me name it as full name which is vacare, and here I am going to set the value for the full name. Full name equal to, I just need to add this first name and last name. So as the both are string, we can just use the plus operator to concatenate the value and return the full name, which will gives us the full name. So now let me create this function. So now the function got created. So in this select statement, I have selected all the records from the employees table. So here along with this details, I need to select the full name too. So here I am going to call the function. So let me provide this function name here, and we need to pass the parameters for that. So here I am going to pass the first name, and the last name from the table. So here you can see, let me provide this as alias name, full name. So let us select this now. So here I have got the full name by adding the first name and last name. Here I need a space, so let me alter this function. So for a best practice, try always create a function with a create or alter command, so we can edit it anytime. So now let me run this command. So the function got altered. So when I again select this now, you can see I got a full name column with the first name and last name concatenated with the space value. So we can use the functions as a scalar value or a table valued function. So I hope you have understood what is function and what is a scalar function and a table valued function, and why you can use functions in SQL Server. So let me provide the GitHub link in the description where you can find the solution, also few exercises. Please subscribe to the channel and watch all the videos in the SQL Server playlist. Thank you for watching.